Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all those people that fulfill that nurturing, loving role, whether it's for children, whether it's for adults, whether it's for parents, for whomever. All of us in some way nurture others. And to all of us and to all of you, a happy Mother's Day because you fill such a space of love and caring that we especially need right now. Now, I know for some of you, hey Sandra, and it is a Mother's Day where I don't know if it's you're like me, I am home by myself because I can't be with my son and grandson. And I am looking forward to the future when we're going to really have our special time together. It is really, we're going to really have fun. I'm got a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas going through my mind of what I'd really like to do. Before we go any further though, I'm going to give my apologies right now. I had a sneezing fit just before coming on camera for the Facebook Live. So I don't know if it'll start again or I'll just have a runny nose. Whatever it is, my apologies right now. So there's a lot of things blooming here in Tallahassee. The weather's been outstanding. It's been cool every morning for us here, not our normal May weather, and it is wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. So today I wanted to just do a quick honoring of mothers with a Mother's Day reading. Now this reading is designed to also tap into ourselves because we get a better look at ourselves if we have a better understanding of mom. It's a delicate and loving relationship all at the same time. It brings in so much in terms of who we are, how we do things. I know that there are things that I do now that I still say, oh, why am I doing that? Where did that come from? That was a learned behavior from my mom. Even last night, as I was going to sleep, I started wandering. My mind was wandering. And I don't know if this happens to you, but I was replaying something from years ago. And I'm thinking, what is that? Wait, what's going on? I don't like being in this space. I want to create my future. I want to be whole, healthy, and well, and know that everything is going to be great. Why am I replaying something that really doesn't make any sense? Then again, it came back to me, and what happened then was realizing that Happy Mother's Day, Wendy. I did not have a chance to check on that email, but I'm going to do that because I'm going to get it to you for sure. And I'm looking forward to our FaceTime later with my little guy. I can't wait. And I wish you a very happy Mother's Day. So Wendy is the first to comment, so she is the first one down for that card, and it's with Teddy's deck, so even better. So here I am replaying this ridiculous thing that does not make any sense to me anyway, I'm thinking, and then it dawned on me, oh, this is another thing. And I consider these my mother, my teacher, even though she passed away in 2003, because there are still behaviors that I have held on to. And one of those is not feeling valued or of worth. And I was replaying something from years ago that really brought that up. So it was a wonderful opportunity as we get more experience and become wiser and peel away. Happy Mother's Day, Sandra. Okay, next you are number 2 for a card. Yay. So it was just another opportunity to peel away that onion and say to myself, oh, this is another level of that behavior that I learned from my mother. Then I had to lay there and say, this does not matter now. I have value. I am worthy and deserving of all that I desire. And I had to then use that as my mantra and know it and feel it. Not just say the words, but know it and feel it. So even after all these years, 17 years of my mother having transitioned, I still have lessons from her. And that's what this is about. It doesn't matter whether your mother is here physically or not. We still have behaviors and learnings as we were raised, whether it was your actual birth mother or whomever that raised you, you still have these feelings, these behaviors, these beliefs, these thoughts that are carryover from all of that. And again, I said thank you, because I was really, really, really happy, really, really happy that I was able to have this lesson from her even at this time. So now it's an easy pivot for me. Now if I start that replaying old tapes, as they say, I can then turn around and flip it, because now I know that I don't have to do that. I don't have, hey Jamie, okay, I got you down. Ruth, we're going to do ours later, okay? So I'll do the other 3 today. So it was very, very interesting for me and a wonderful lesson. So I did have to say thank you. I do have to appreciate that whatever challenges my mother may have had while she was alive, those were things that now I can change. I can now say I do have value. I am worthy and deserving, and not go in the opposite direction. And that's a wonderful feeling to know, that there's still no judgment. There's no criticism of who she was. She was who she was. She was what she learned to be. But I still have that lesson from her. So that makes it really an interesting thing. And I just knew that it was for that purpose, that this is what I was to learn and to understand. So I was really, really happy about that. So today I would like you, as we get ready and set the energy for this reading, I would love for you to just now, as you gently breathe in and out, think of a fond memory of your mom or the person that raised you, whoever was there for you. Have that wonderful memory. Breathe in and release. As I do that and think about it, I think about the trip when I was 4 years old, just my mother and I took. I had a whole week with my mother, and it was so special. I might have been 5. It was somewhere in that. Good morning, Pamela. Happy Mother's Day to you and your mom, because you have fur babies, Pamela. The memory that I have of that week with her, we were at Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. This is when we still lived up north. And it was just the 2 of us. And I told these stories and my memories to my mother while she was still alive. And we laughed and enjoyed them even all those 50-something years later. It was so wonderful to have that. Think about those loving moments. Think about that gentle touch. Think about all those times that you were supported, loved unconditionally. Think about those loving moments. I know there are opposite times. I understand that. But we're going to focus on the positive ones now, because that's the day that we're going to create. So with those thoughts, I'm going to shuffle the cards now that we're in this wonderful positive place for moms. And I've been watching the posts on Facebook, especially the ones of the moms that are in the 90s and 100 even. And here there are these wonderful, wonderful memories of, and I'm looking forward to having that with my son. I plan on it. So he's really going to have his hands full when I'm 95 or 100. I already figured if I'm not still ballroom dancing, which I hope to, because at our studio we have 2 women that are in their 90s that actually dance on stage. Good morning, Wendy. That dance on stage, that do wonderful, marvelous things, and that's going to be me long past it. That's what I plan on doing. That's how the intention I'm setting, because I'm going to be healthy, whole, and having a wonderful time. And that's what I wish for everyone right now. We are whole, well, and healthy. Wendy, happy anniversary. I love that picture of you and your husband on Facebook. That was so, so wonderful. Okay, I'm dividing up the cards, and I am taking the summary card off to the side. For those of you that arrived late, I gave my apology right up front that I had a sneezing fit just before coming on Facebook Live. So if I have to, my nose may be a bit runny, I may start sneezing again, but I'm setting the intention all is going well and that I'll finish it. But just in case, that's what's going on. Okay, card, this is 8 cards, but 7 lay flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, this is our way of learning more about ourselves by connecting with moms. So, thank you, Ruth. I'm sorry, that's such a chuckle. We the Dancing Divas have different acronyms that we use, and we've been deaf old divas and driving old, all of the things, and divas in training, and so we call them dits and dods and whatever. So now Ruth just made another one. We will be old dancing divas. That makes us odds. I love it. I love it. Okay, first card. What is the state of the relationship with my mother? I love this card. This is actually the Leo Queen, and she is the Queen of Wands. My mother, the best times that I had with my mother, when you grow out of that stage with always being critical of moms and all of that, when I actually accepted her for who she was and we just had a good time, I absolutely adored those moments. And that is what this is about. That is that pure joy. The Queen of Wands, of course, all the queens are nurturers, all the queens, but she especially, the Leo Queen is especially nurturing and loving. She's seductive in that she can help persuade you and entice you to do so many things. Many teachers are Leos because of this, or have Leo rising because they have that capacity to do that. And that's what makes this so special. And notice, we all know what cats are like. There is no, I saw on Facebook this harness that this woman put on a cat, and she is in, and it was for sale to walk your cat, because then they'll follow along. You shouldn't have seen the face on that cat. There was no way that this cat was happy, nor was this cat going to do what this person wanted it to do, or venture out. So now you can venture out with a harness, huh? No, not happening at all. Look at the grip that she has on that cat. We know that cats are difficult. They have a mind of their own. They rule you rather than you ruling them. But look at the size of her hand in proportion to the rest of her body. That means she has a grip on even those things that can be off the wall or uncontrollable. That's not the case with this. So I love this card. To me, this is a beautiful card to start with. What is the state of my relationship with my mother? That's one of being that giving and taking and that nurturing. Just as I mentioned earlier when we started, cherishing those nurturing moments early on that maybe I didn't, that are now showing up for me, that don't serve a purpose anymore or don't fit well in who I am anymore. I can honor the fact that she showed me that and she taught me that lesson, even though I don't use it anymore nor accept it. And do I realize that I have value and worth and deserving? That wasn't what my mother felt, but in her not feeling that way, she's taught me that, and that's been a wonderful lesson. So it's that teaching, nurturing, caring place of the relationship with mom. So what great gift has my mother given me? This brings back memories. This one is the 9 of Swords. So it looks like nightmares. It looks like, oh my God, but this is not who your mother is. This is those times that were scary for you. I know I would have nightmares as a child. I also would, sleepwalk, do all those other things that in night when I was sleeping. a lot of what I experienced during the day would then come out in dreams and make it scary. This is that time when you are afraid, when you are holding on to things. Hey, Trisha. When you are, and Lori, I'm so glad you're here. When you are holding on to things that are frightening and scary, that embrace. I mean, I can still feel my mother's embrace now. That holding on and letting you know that everything is going to be okay. That's what this card is about. Okay, runny nose, here we go. Number 3, what great challenge does my mother offer me? Interesting. This is the 7 of Swords, and lots of times it's called the theft card. That doesn't mean our mother stole from us. It doesn't mean that we stole from her, although lots of times as a girl growing up, my mother had some cool makeup that I would try, and maybe I didn't steal it, but I did try it. So, and as a young child, Lord knows what I looked like when I did try her makeup. I'm sure it was a hoot. So this isn't about that. This is about, it's okay. Just as the instance that I gave you about what I learned from my mother, it wasn't about stealing it. It was about taking it and changing it and making it better. So what challenge does my mother offer me? That those characteristics, those feelings that she had, all that made her who she was, we will take those things that serve our purpose now and reframe those that do not. That's all this means, because we're raised with those beliefs. Those are the only ones that we know as a child, being raised by our quote-unquote mother, whether it's, like I said, birth mother or someone that's raising us. Whoever that happens to be, we take them, but we don't have to keep them. We can keep what works for us and reframe those that do not. Just like I told you, that was my message last night with going to sleep, which was an amazing awareness, and I was happy to have it, because it was just another layer of releasing. How am I similar to my mother? Oh, sorry, I love this. This is the 10 of Wands. Okay, how am I similar to my mother? Multitasking. I mean, moms are the best at multitasking, right? I mean, when my mother was raising me, as you know, back in the 50s and 60s, well, when I started to elementary school in the 50s, and then in the 60s, I know I was a handful. And she was working. She took care of the home. She and my grandmother cooked. And she did all of that. My father went to work and came home. That was it. He worked on the car if something was wrong with it. But it's about that multitasking. That's what this is about. So how am I similar to my mother? In that I have learned as a woman to multitask. The thing is here is that we don't have to multitask. We can, because there are certain things that we do have to take care of. But it's okay to let some stuff go. And that's with holding on to these 10 wands. By the time you get all the way up here, you can't hold on to all of them. You have to let some of them go. So now it is, okay, I do not have to be and do everything that my mother did, because times are different now for a lot of reasons. I mean, technology's involved, all of that stuff. But it's acknowledging the fact that I don't have to do it all. I don't have to hold on to some things to do. I can delegate to other family members or hire someone to do it for me, whatever that happens to be, to make life easier. There are other options that you have with that. How am I unlike my mother? Now, this one is interesting because this is the first major arcana card, and I really love it. And this is the Emperor. How am I unlike my mother? This is that now I know my value. That was just that, and it's so interesting because that was the story that I was telling you about what early on with a new awareness from my mom. I know my value, and it increases every day. I know that I am worthy and deserving, and that feeling increases every day. I am not diminished. I am in charge of me. I am always in charge of me no matter what, because I always have choice and I always have free will, and I am always going to be there following that. When my mother was alive and married and me as a child, that wasn't an option for her because that was not acceptable. There was that certain role that women fulfilled. Now we know that that's not the case. The roles are not so different as they are. There is value in male or female, but now it's Mother's Day. So it's in the value that we know that we are worthy and deserving, and we have choice, and we have free will. And that wasn't always the feeling nor the thought of the time, especially for me with my mom when I was growing up. How do I define myself in comparison to her? Now, this card really applies to my mom, because she, in her way that she would look at life, as I said, she did not always feel worthy and deserving. So she would look at life as affecting her. Instead of her acting on life, life acted on her. And she felt then the victim, not having any control over her life. So this is a wonderful card. How do I define myself in comparison to her? And this is the Seven of Pentacles. That means I can now appreciate all that I have done and accomplished and know that it's all okay. I can look and see that it is all good. I'm not a victim of life. I have impacted life. I have made the changes, and now I can relish them. Instead of bemoaning what life has done to me, I can say, look at what I have accomplished. Look at all the beautiful things that are in my life that I can truly, truly appreciate. And that's what this card is saying. Appreciate it all. You have that wonderful choice to either say, I am a victim of life, or I have created it. You can now choose. And this is honoring, appreciating all that you have come to up to this point. And that means within yourself as well. Within yourself as well. How can I best honor our relationship? And this card is the Four of Cups. And that means let's not focus on the sadness, on the old stories that were not happy, on any of the other negative parts of this. I could focus on the fact that for the past 17 years, I have not had my mother with me, but she's still been with me, just not physically been with me. It depends on how we look at it, and that's what this card is all about. Because in the end, all we have to do is look up and know that these are not all these empty cups of loss. There is that full cup, and I love this card because it's the hand of the divine giving you that full cup of knowing that all is well, knowing that you really do still hold on to those beautiful, beautiful parts of you and those beautiful positive memories of that nurturing person that fulfilled that role for you, whether birth mother, whether it was your dad that had to do both roles, whomever it was, whoever that person was in your life. Do not focus on what you lost or didn't have. Focus on all the goodness that has made you who you are now, because there is so much. You are a beautiful person. You are a beautiful, loving person. And this card says that's the part to focus on. Not whether she didn't drive you wherever it was that you wanted to go at a certain time, or you weren't allowed to do whatever, or didn't buy you whatever. None of that matters. What matters is the loving heart of your mom and the focusing on the positive thoughts. Amber, yay, I'm so glad you're here. Happy Mother's Day to your mom. Please give her that message for me. Thank you. So the summary card, and somehow I've got it covered up over here. Here we go. The summary card. And this is interesting because this is the Five of Wands. There's still internal conflict within us in acknowledging who our mother was and how we see it within ourselves and who we want to be. That's okay. The good part is that you recognize it and you can change it or not. If you're happy with this, I mean, how many times do you hear that phrase, oh my God, I've become my mother? And we laugh about it because in a sense, those are the positive gifts that our mom gave us. So this is just saying sometimes there will be conflict about it. Just as I said about my awareness that came last night as I was laying in bed replaying an old tape, if you will, of some event, some occurrence that I didn't need anymore. And the message I was given as this was happening is the reason because I've asked for an answer to why I do this. And the reason is because at that time you did not feel worthy or have value or important. And that's why I was replaying those tapes. So that was still, if you will, an inner conflict of trying to understand some of those things that were happening. The beauty is that be open to receiving a change if you want it, a choice if you want it, or just embrace those wonderful things that your mom gave you. I'm appreciative of the fact that that was a lesson that I learned from her. And even if it's not a behavior that I wanted to hold on to, it's still a lesson that I learned. So all in all, this is a beautiful, beautiful message. And the point here is that in doing this, we learn not only more about ourselves, but we become more accepting of who that nurturing mother individual was in our life. And that's really, really what this is about. Okay, so I have, now, Ruth, I am going to do your card today, and I want to do that because the message I was given was, no, you are going to do Ruth's card today, because these cards have a message for everybody. So, and that's what's really important at this time. So, I am going to shuffle Teddy's cards that he gave me. I still love these Wendy, so that's why I do them. Wendy Vargas, Teddy's mom. Okay, here we go. One more shuffle, then I'll divide them, and I'll start with Wendy. And again, this is Wendy's card. This is how the online tarot gallery reading works that we do once a month. And that's going to be something that's going to expand and change a little bit. So, and I'll be sharing that later. But when we do a group reading within the online tarot gallery, and right now it's only $9.97, that is a card for you, but there's also a message for everyone else. So it's really a multi-card reading. So that really makes it cool. Okay, Wendy, here we go. Okay. This is the Corsair. By the way, that is a card that I like. It's the new Lincoln SUV. I love the Corsair. I test drove it in January, in December at the auto show in Miami, and that's number one on my list since I need a new road car. So that's the Corsair. So see, Wendy, this is what I need to come see you, right? So I love the Corsair because he is the Knight of Spirals. So this is the fire sign. He's carefree. He's out there having a good time. And this is for today, especially for you to enjoy. Look at pirate-like, adventurous. That's what a Corsair is. It's adventurous. It's out there enjoying life. And he is doing that. And you'll be there soon because I know how much you love to be out and about, and you've been home with three kids, Teddy being the youngest at 4 going on 5, and working from home. So keep that adventurous heart. Know that you'll be getting out there and create some adventure at home. I know with Teddy it's probably not hard to do, but create some of that spirited adventure at home. It doesn't mean you got to go get a parrot, you know, like we see here, or wear the patch, although this could be your costume for Halloween. I mean, this is a possibility. So just enjoy it, and enjoy today. Just be carefree, whimsical, have a wonderful time, whatever that happens to be. Follow that spirited heart that you have. It'll be wonderful. Oh, I love this card. Isn't that Teddy now giving you that message? Okay, Sandra. Just get these shuffled real quick. And then we'll get your card, Sandra. And again, these cards are for everybody. It's not just, it's Sandra's card specifically. And she gets an even deeper message from it. But all in all, it's a message for everybody. Okay, Sandra, here we go. Okay. Ooh. So here we have the Four of Stones. And I really like this card because this is the Four of Pentacles, or it's the earth sign. So I like this because it is this jewel chest. It is about being inside of, it is, okay, I'm trying to get I'm getting the message and I want to get it clear. Clarity, right? There are hidden jewels inside of you that just need to be opened. And I can't imagine what more, being the generous, good-hearted person that you are. But there's a surprise. I'm hearing the word surprise, so I'm not sure what the surprise is, but there is something that is, and it relates to home. And with the jewels, of course, we are going to bedazzle stuff. We're always going to be doing that. With the Dancing Divas, always got to sparkle, got to shine. But there's more happening. There's more coming. There is this treasure inside of you that you are going to discover and release. Wow. Yes, there's this treasure inside of you that you are going to discover and release. And I can't imagine what it is, but you may be feeling some of that already. And of some, especially with being home, some of the new things that you may want to be trying, whether it's with dance or the kids or your travel or whatever. But there's a treasure in there that hasn't been opened yet. Wow, it feels really good. It feels really good, Sandra. I love it. Okay, Ruth, and then Jamie. Hey, Brenda. It is exciting, Sandra. I do not know what it is. You will probably know because it will turn up. I don't have a time frame on it, but it will. Okay, Ruth. Oh, this is so Ruth. This is the Hermit card. Hey, Brenda. And it's called the Storyteller. It makes me think, and this was the download that I got, that it's about time for you to be writing these stories down, and that you can tell. And you are the one that's always out there taking care of so many people. And I really, really appreciate all that you do. And I know other people do as well. But this just acknowledges that. Now, this is basically the Hermit card. And traditionally in my other deck, the Hermit card is about solitude, caring. And of course, you've had more than normal because we all have with the virus and having to quarantine to a certain degree. And the Hermit traditionally holds out that lantern to be the light for everyone. And that's what is right here. So it's, thank you, Brenda. So that's what this shows, is you're being the light. But this is about, this is about what you do in being such a good listener that you hear other people's stories. It's not just the stories that you can tell about other people happening. it also says what an amazing listener you are, what an amazing good friend, that you are always there to support other people and do it without judgment, and pure love. Yes, shining your light. That's exactly right. That was just like the post from yesterday. You are out there shining your light. So the storyteller does that by being uplifting and caring and loving. Yes, the storyteller does that, but I'm also getting that you are such an amazing listener, and you are supportive of others by just listening to their story, not having to change anything, not having to fix it, but just out there spreading the light and making people happy. And you really do that. That really is true. Okay, Jamie. Wow. These are great cards for today. And that reading was really something. If I could pick a card, if I chose a card from the reading from today's, I'll show it to you when I finish this. So Jamie, here we go. Happy Mother's Day, Jamie. Oh, goodness. Okay, this is the Two of Stones. It's similar to the Two of Pentacles. This is, you have so many things happening. This is choices. This is, do I stay where I am or continue and take the amazing leap to move forward to something that's going to be even better? Stones is Pentacles in the traditional deck, which is about money. And I think in this case, that's what it refers to you. You have so many options coming your way, so many good things coming your way. It's about, do I take that? Do I stay where I am right now in what I have and be safe or cautious? Or do I take the leap over to the other side? Even if I don't know the full outcome of what's going to happen, do I take that leap anyway? That's a good one. Now today, if I could pick out from our reading which card exemplified the Mother's Day reading, this would be it, and that would be the Queen of Wands. That to me was the most perfect card for today. That had great emphasis. And love. Definitely lots of love. And I love all the sunflowers and just spreading the light. It's about spreading the light. So that makes it so perfect. Now keep in mind, just through the month of May, we will be having the spring special discounts. They're based on time factors, on how much time you want to spend on the reading. No matter what question you have. And, you know, I don't like using the word uncertainty, but we are in a time of not knowing what's really going to be happening. And that's okay, because it will definitely be a surprise. But at the same time, we'd like to have a little bit more grounding and understanding of that, a little bit more clarity. So just message me if you're not sure what time factor would be good for you for what question you want answered, or just sign up, whatever that is. Yes, Jamie, you will take it. I know that you will. I know that you will. I had no doubt when I was going through that card that that's what it would be. So if you've had a reading with me before, you also know that energy changes. Whatever we're feeling today isn't what we feel next month, isn't necessarily our goals for next month. But it may be comforting to have a little bit more understanding of who we are in this moment and what questions we have to be answered. So please get in touch with me. Again, they are on special discount right now, and that's only through May. After May, we'll be back to regular prices, and that even means the online tarot gallery reading, which right now is $9.97, will be back to a different price. But there's also some other options that are coming your way. So with that online tarot gallery reading, and we'll talk about that very, very soon. Those plans are, and right, Jamie, those plans are coming together so we can get that out to you. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Whether you're a mother to fur babies, green babies, real people, whatever it happens to be, enjoy today. This is your day. And remember, joy has your name on it. Bye now.